Awesome. As Helene and Michelle, someone who said, my name is Emily. Wow, it's just like a really, really great journey to be with you guys. I started teaching this year and just haven't been around as much, around like BeLoved. So I think for a lot of you, like I don't know, a lot of you haven't seen in videos like ages. So, I guess I'm just gonna start as I was preparing and just like praying about the theme for tonight. You are beloved, especially for all you lovely 8th graders who are here for the first time. I think kind of one of the main messages I think the Lord brought me to was just like the reality that He sees you exactly where you are. So my guess is that there are some of you who maybe whose mom forced you to come, maybe just throw that out there. Maybe some of you who are actually like kind of nervous right now. Whose hearts are like pitter-pattering a little bit because like new social situations is just a little scary, and I get that. There's some of you who have been coming here for years and years, and BeLoved is like a second home to you. There may be some of us who are just a little concerned that we don't have all of our stuff together or our homework done, nervous about a game coming up. There may be some of us who, have been coming to BeLoved for a while and feel like we're in an awesome place with the Lord, like we're pretty tight in Jesus. And there might be some of us too, who've been coming to this event called BeLoved for a long time, but we don't really, maybe know what that means, or we feel like we're showing up and like doing the things, but at the same time, like something's off, or we're not entirely sure why. So I just want to say to you, kind of like wherever you are, whatever it's like on your heart, whatever's in your mind right now, like you're welcome here, and I'm really, really glad that you came here. And I see you even more like Jesus sees you right now, and the Father sees you. And I'm just really convinced that as we like dive in a little bit to what like beloved means, that the Father just wants to speak that word, beloved, like exactly into where you are right now. Like whatever like plagues your heart is, and whatever's worrying you, whatever is exciting you right now, like that's what He wants. That's exactly where He wants to speak your word to you. So let's talk about this word like beloved, that's where we are, that's why we're here. As I was like thinking about this, and kind of like going back to the basics, like what does it mean to be beloved? Actually, like the mission of BeLoved Revolution, so probably 8th graders, like that's where we're at this event, BeLoved by BeLoved Revolution, and our mission is like threefold. Each of those parts of the mission starts with a B. Does anybody know what our mission is? I mean, it's like been around for a while. There's a mission of BLR to be, you got it. Because be free, be loved. Thank you. What's your name? Mary Carolyn. Awesome. Thank you. Because be free, be loved. And I was just praying, like, to be beloved is really to be those three things: to be His, and to be free, and to be loved. I just want to walk us through all those like really awesome things. First of all, to like be His. What does that mean? It means like everything about this word beloved. It has to start with Him. It starts with Him. It starts with what He says about you before you ever had a chance to respond. Before you ever had a chance to get an A in theology class. Before you ever had a chance to go to Pine Hills Camp. Before you ever had a chance to form some awesome friendships, maybe a leadership position or anything like that. Right? It starts with what He says about you before time began. In Isaiah 43, the Father speaks right to us, and He says, now this is the Lord who created you, O Jacob, He formed you, O Israel. It says like, O Jacob, O Israel. I just invite you to like take a second, just close your eyes and put your own name into there. Okay? But now thus says the Lord, He who created you, O Maria. He who formed you, O Mary Carolyn. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Right? So this is the voice of the one who calls you beloved, who says, you are loved and that is who you are. There's another awesome little verse. It's like one of my favorites right now. Sorry, I never take a chance to get situated. I'm just going to situate myself real quick. Okay, so a little later on it says that Zion said, but again, it's your name here, okay? But Elizabeth said, or but Chloe said, the Lord has forsaken me. My Lord has forgotten me. Don't raise your hand, but just maybe think, have you ever been there before? Like, does God know me? Did he forget me? I don't know. But the Father responds to that and says, can a woman forget her infant, that she should have no compassion on the child of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget you. Behold, I have graven you on the palms of my hands. Is anybody like a forgetful person here? Yeah, that's what forgetful people are around. Do you really write on your hand if you need to remember something? Yeah. My mom would be like, I'm getting ink poisoning. I don't even know if that's a thing, but like, I don't know, I thought twice about it. Like, I don't know, is it worth it to remember this thing? Maybe like ink poisoning from the Sharpie? I don't know. But I'm just thinking about that, like, when we need to remember important things, you just like write them on our hand. So what does like God say to us? He says, I've graven you on the palms of my hands. So like, as if God could forget you, as if God could forget how much he loves you, he actually is like engraving, I think of the wounds, like the wounds on the cross right there, like he's actually engraving your name on the palms of his hands. He's like, no way, Sharpie is not good enough for me to remember my beloved. Let me actually show her how much I love her. Let me like put some wounds in my hand and keep them there forever for her to see that she is mine. She is mine, and I call her beloved. So what does beloved mean? It means to be his. It means that all starts with him, right? It all starts with him who, with like every single breath when he was on the cross, said, wait, I love her more. I'm going to take another breath. I'm going to hurt a little bit longer because I want to show her I love her even more and more and more. So to be beloved means to be his. And remember what the second part is, to be his, to be free. I heard it last time, to be free. So as Jesus is there and calling us beloved and calling us his, he's seeing like all of the ways that I don't quite like really get that, you know? As Jesus is like taking those breaths, like I love her more, he's also like very, very aware of all those times when, right, I'm like not paying attention in theology class, or when I'm not being nice to my siblings, when I'm not doing what I know like a beloved daughter of God does, or how a beloved daughter of God loves. He's seeing all the times that I'm gossiping, all the times I'm complaining, all the times that I'm falling into these sins over and over, right? But he said, like, no, she is not the sum of those actions, or those lack of actions, or those attitudes. She is beloved. So I think really, as we like dive into this next part, to be free, we're going to see that it is his love that sets us free to really like live as his beloved. There's this really beautiful book called Life in Beloved, very fitting for tonight, by Henry Nouwen, really beautiful, beautiful writer. But he kind of like taps into this, right? Because we know that we're beloved, but how many of you like go through the day actually consciously thinking all the time, like, Jesus loves me, I'm beloved, this is great, like it's good. Anybody? No. I like struggle with that. Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes. Elizabeth knows she's beloved, and I love that about her, so I'm that. I don't know, today I was like, I teach in a high school, so man, everything was just like chaos today, and it was beautiful and it was fun, but the day ended and I was like, loudly, "You are my beloved, on you my favor rests." It certainly is not easy to hear that voice in a world filled with voices that shout, "You are no good, you are ugly, you are worthless, you are despicable, you are nobody," unless you can demonstrate the opposite. What Jesus did on the cross was demonstrate the opposite, right? Just for you. And now he's inviting you to live in that way that also demonstrates the opposite. And I'm the first one to admit it's like pretty muddy. I don't know, like pretty muddy out there. Hard to do that, to demonstrate the opposite of what the world says. I grasp onto a lot of different things to give me a sense of who I am, other than that voice of his that calls me beloved in all of these places. I grasp onto friendships, to my collections, my stuff, to this really intense desire to be affirmed, or for people to think I'm good and doing a good job, for people to pay attention to me. Yeah, I think a lot of us probably have our own set of things that we could call the voices that are speaking to us that kind of crowd out the most important one, right? The truth is that while all of these things do impact our lives in different ways, while you do a lot of really good things, while you do have beautiful friendships and amazing accomplishments, no doubt about it, there's actually more. There's actually more. I got very angry last year. I remember it was right after Easter. I was talking to a priest that I know, and I had a really beautiful Easter experience. Man, I just love Jesus. Life is great. Things are good. I was like, Father, this is awesome. Man, I just love Jesus. Beautiful. And I was just going on and on about how great everything was. And he just looked at me and he's like, Emily, if you came in here and told me everything was going terribly, that would be okay. I looked at it and was like, excuse me, I just told you everything that was great. You're supposed to be proud of me. You're supposed to be yeah, this is awesome. And I was very angry. And then I took that to prayer later on, and I was like, Jesus, come on, I'm trying to live this good life. I love you, I'm praying, I'm doing the things, but apparently it doesn't matter. This is faith. Come on. I know, I was really upset. Don't get me wrong. The Lord loves, He loves when we enter in. And when our hearts are just exploding with love for Him, and when we share that with others, that is so, so good. But what I think the Lord's revealing to me in this place is that there's actually a greater security that we're called to. Right? The extent of this security is that I am held tight in the eternal embrace of the Father. Okay? Not in anything that I do, not in how good my day was, how good my hair looks today, how many people are talking to me, or really anything that you can think of. Even those really beautiful and good things that I do, even those days when I can look back on them and be I think I lived as a beloved daughter of God today. I can point to these different places and say, man, I prayed with my students today. I watched this healing unfold. I did the things. But even greater than that, at the end of the day, is that I'm just this little girl, this little daughter, in the embrace of her Father. And that's the thing that it means to be free, right? And I think this is a place that, even as we're going through this night, and even as you go home tonight, just a place to go back to and pray into, I think. I know if I'm not, even as I speak up here, I struggle to be totally convinced that I'm beloved, totally convinced of my belovedness, right? It's really easy for me just to get knocked off keel. Even today, there's just another teacher at school, right, who was I don't know, I just felt his eyes on me, I knew I wasn't doing the best. Maybe times that you're like cranky or angry or gossipy or just like dramatic. I don't know, I just like get dramatic sometimes. Any place where you find yourself like ashamed of your faith, or like scared that people are gonna find out that you're a Christian and that you care about it. Any place, like I was saying earlier, where you like crave attention or crave affirmation from guys on social media, anything like that. Any time where you just kind of want to like go to him and put on your best like mass going, worship singing, even like your supposed like Debbie Herbeck approved version of yourself to go somewhere, like whatever that is that you just like bring before the Lord. I just want to challenge you girls to know that Jesus sees every single one of those little like chambers in the heart, every single one of those places, especially those that we like feel like we can tuck away, just like, we won't talk about it, right? He definitely does not condemn us when we do this. And I really want to make that clear, like he doesn't condemn us in these places where it's hard for us to feel beloved, to know that we're beloved. I think he comes to us really gently there, right? Really gently in those places where we need freedom to know who we are. And he says to us there, he just says to us, like, little girl, I say to you, arise. Can I be your rescuer? He says, you look a little tired. I see you. I know you're really hurting. Can I set you free? That's the invitation, right? Invitation to freedom. Truly be free. To be free in knowing that we are beloved. Anytime we're just a little appalled at how weak we are, or how we're not, I don't know, not feeling it, anything like that, I think we can just pray like, Jesus, I give you permission to see me here, in whatever mess I'm in, to see me here when I'm like just on the struggle bus, whatever it is. Give you permission to love me when I'm sinning, when I'm weak, when I'm tired, when I'm broken. I give you permission to call me beloved. We'll just sit with that, and see what he says. So to be beloved is to be his. To be beloved is to be free. And to be beloved is to be love. Yeah, amazing. These are so good. There's this classic song, I think you all know it. It's called like Reckless Love. Pretty classic. I was like praying one day, and the chorus or the bridge came to mind. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. And I would always like interpret that as like, there's like no obstacle in the way of the Lord. But then it hit me one day that actually like there's no shadow that he does not want to light up, or no wall that he does not want to tear down in pursuit of my whole entire heart, right? He will not stop at anything, and he will not be stopped by anything. He won't let anything stand in the way of taking like everything and loving every single part of it. All those places that we're talking about really tough away. Especially like I think like women are just amazing. So when women are like loved totally like this, really amazing things happen. There's a quote from a foundress of a religious community, who's one of Mary Frances, and she says, "There is nothing a woman cannot do when she knows that she is perfectly understood at all times and that she is loved." Just give me amen. Like, amen. When she is perfectly understood at all times and when she is loved, and that is like who he is. That is who the Father is, right? He sees every part of us. He knows it. He understands it. He gets it. And he loves us in every part that is there. So as we are called here to like be loved, this is like the also get to like choose to live that way, to choose to live as his beloved. So we respond then, first of all, like right back to him, and we get to do that like every time we like, go to mass, every time we worship, every time we pray, we're just responding to him, calling us beloved. To actually just like sit before him and be like, Jesus, Father, just like call me beloved. I like need to hear that today. We always are in need of hearing that. But I think specifically like bringing those places in our heart that we're like ashamed of, like we were talking about, and letting him call us beloved there. So we receive that identity. To just let that love actually like flow out of us, to let that kind of like bubble over. And I truly think this is like how we infiltrate the world. This is the revolution that we're talking about. I know, it all comes together. Like, yeah, that is a revolution. When these women, like however many of us are in this room even, imagine if we like go home tonight and we let Jesus love us in a place we've never let him love us before. We let him love us in that place where, man, we're used to just like talking behind somebody's back, and we're like scared to bring that to like confession. Maybe he wants to love us in a place where we have a pretty like broken relationship with a friend or somebody in our family or something like that. But we choose to like tell him about it. We choose to let him love us there. This is how the revolution goes. That even when we are hurting or tired or stressed or anything that happens like in May of the school year, we're just like, man, there's just so much, and I don't even know what to do with my life right now. When we let him love us right in this place, truly this love unlocks hearts. This love transforms us, and it has no choice but to like multiply and flow out onto your friends, onto your classmates, onto your teammates, onto your family. It's fun. It really is. It's fun. It's an adventure to be in this revolution, especially with you guys. Just a quick story about that. So I teach at a Catholic school. Praise God. It's like so fun to just like get to actually like talk to Jesus. And I don't know, like sometimes I can still like very honestly like be a little insecure. Like I love Jesus a lot. Like I really, really do. But sometimes there's a part that's like, I just like don't know what to say, or like how to convey this, or how to like best love people around me. You want to be weird? I don't know. Like anything like that. I don't know. Yeah, totally weird. Okay. But I was like about to teach my 9-hour like last class of the day, and when my students came in late, I teach freshmen and sophomores, so like a freshman student came in late, and she had a note from our chaplain that said, sorry, she was with me, pray for her right ankle. And I was like, whoa, okay. Just like not the typical like note I get during the day. And I never, like, I will like pray at the start of class and everything, but I never like had this relationship with the student where we were like talking about Jesus all the time. Like she probably knew like, I don't know, like cared about being Catholic, but like not much else other than that. So I went up to her and she played soccer, so her ankle was a little beat up. She had like rolled it really badly the day before. And so I just went up to her and I was like, so you're with Father. Just trying to like get a story or whatever. And she's like, yeah, man, my ankle's just like totally whacked. She's like one of the like best players on the team. And I was like, so you were like praying for your ankle? She's like, yeah. And like a lot of stuff happens, still kind of hurts. Like, I don't know, like you're whatever, it's fine. I was like, can we please you to pray? Like, kind of like nervous. She's like, yeah, cool. So yeah, the rest, like, I don't know, I just like surrendered control of class. But I just like knelt down beside her and just was like, okay, Jesus, let's pray. And just like prayed with her for a while. She like felt healing happen, and she's like practicing right now. Then, like later that day, she told another of her teammates, another freshman at my school, that this unfolded, and this girl, my student A, went to tell the other girl what had happened. This other student came and found myself and our chaplain after school and was like, I'm just like struggling big time. Soccer was like my outlet for like mental health. I'm just like really struggling that I like can't play. It's like really sucks. It just does. And she's like, can we pray? And we're like, yeah, let's pray. And like Jesus shows up when we like do those things. When we like our hearts are free to love because we know that we're beloved, because we know that it doesn't matter like the outcome of anything. It doesn't matter how people receive it even necessarily, because all I can do is just share like the love of my heart with the person who's in front of me. So we prayed there after school, and like amazing things happen when you pray. Like who knew? Incredible. And I just like love that I share that with you guys because I think that's just kind of what it's all about. Like as Jesus is calling us beloved, as we're like telling other people about this man who calls us beloved, as we grow as like these amazing daughters of the Father who is always calling us beloved, our hearts just like burn within us and we have to talk. We have to. There's just like, it just flows out, you know? And that's why I'm like here today. That's why all of you are here today, because you know how good it is. And I see it in you. I really do. So just want to leave you with just that truth that you are very, very beloved, just as you are. Every single one of you. And I want to look all of you in the eyes right now. Just tell you that and make you believe it deep down. You are beloved. You are His. You are free. And you are called to love. So let's just press into that tonight as we go forward together.